Because what is this, cuffing season?
Yeah,
so
that's right. Nobody's gonna. You want to like get yourself back into shape and stuff when the spring comes, so that you could catch you one. I know how it is. I mean, I'm married. I'm shackled up right now. That's what it is. So not even cuff.
not shackled.
It's not cuff. It's shackled. No.
What is the difference between cuffed and shackled?
I'm being said shackled just sound like you don't have a choice. Like you are done. You are there in that marriage or that relationship. You can't go anywhere. Gosh done it.
Get ready for some banter, laughs, and honesty. Raw and unfiltered.
It's time for the Listen Up podcast hosted by Lady Sola.
Listen up, listen up, listen up. What's going on, everyone? It's your girl, Lady Sola, here with another episode of the Listen Up podcast. This is episode 11. And today I am joined by Nafeesah Hope. She is the ultimate celebrity makeup artist. And I'm so excited that she took the time to be here today to do this podcast. So Nafeesah Hope, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you for considering me. I appreciate you. Thank you.
I appreciate you too. So we're going to get into this episode. All right, so starting off with the first segment, let's get it.
Yeah.
The latest stories that grabbed our attention and dominated headlines. Listen up. It's time for The Big Three.
All right, so the first subject in the big three is Gabrielle Union and Dwayne Wade give birth to a baby girl via surrogate. So this is a really, really big deal. I was so surprised when I saw it on Instagram because obviously this has been news that has not been teased, it hasn't been prepped, it hasn't been something that the couple has put out months in advance and hey, this is what we have going on. Literally, this is the first that the world is hearing about it. Right. That not only have they done, chosen to go through a surrogacy, but they've accomplished that goal, and now the woman has had the baby. All of these phases basically have been kept under wraps, which I totally understand.
Absolutely.
But basically, the baby was born on November 7th, and Gabrielle Union took to her Instagram to post pictures the day after. She named the baby Kavia James Union Wade. So that is quite a mouthful.
More love, lots of love,
lots of family history. They wanted to kind of get everybody in there, shout everybody out. Like, we got to get the grandfather in there. We got to get, the baby daddy, myself. Everybody is going to be a part of this name because this is like basically a miracle baby for them.
That's right. How exciting.
Kavia James Union Wade. James is actually a family name. So she wanted to pay homage to her uncle, who is also her grandfather, which when I read that, I was like, how does that work?
Possible? Yeah. And I wasn't familiar with that one. Whoa.
I was really racking my brain trying to break it down, the whole family tree in my head, okay, uncle would be her mom or dad's brother. Okay, I get that part, but the grandfather part, yes. Yeah. And Dwayne Wade got his daughter's name tatted on his shoulders, and I guess he posted this picture on Instagram months before.
So cool.
Or whatnot. So obviously, they've known that it was a girl, and they knew what they were gonna name her.
It's the boy.
Yeah.
James. I thought it was.
Oh no,
James.
it's actually a girl. That's the thing. So her name is Kavia James. So it's I guess they're going to say both names, Kavia James, so she does have a male middle name.
I didn't realize that what was going on. I thought it was a boy the whole time. Even when I saw the picture, And you know, we have hair. We have like hair that grow as like African Americans. Like we have like heartburn. And a full head of hair when the baby come out.
We do. So
I thought it was like a male, but wow, look at that.
I know, and that's why she really went.
No, it makes sense. It sounds like a female name, a feminine name now.
Yeah, it could be a James, so it's like Marianne or, like that hyphenated, but it's not a hyphenated name. But I guess they're going to kind of say Kavia and James in one breath. Like,
wow.
But it is like her name, like James. Her name is James, which is definitely a male name. Would you ever name, if you had a female, child, would you ever consider giving her like a male name?
This doesn't sound as unisex as I thought it did. So I'm just thrown off kilter. I do know that the name means full of imagination. It's an Indian origin, so that's interesting. But would I have named my daughter Kavia and then add James to it? Sure. Why not?
Depending on the circumstances.
Yeah, that's right. There's something
because this is a major honoring, a member of her family that
I think that's special.
Means a lot. Yeah,
absolutely.
It definitely is a special.
It's very unique now. Now that I see this and now that I understand what's going on, how about that?
Then you understand the sex of the baby.
Yeah, now I know. Wow, that's really unique. That's very, very different, and I love it. I really do.
As all of us know, we've been witnessing over the years, like her interest, her passion for wanting to have her own children. This has been documented. She's talked about it. She's gone on talk shows. She's done interviews.
That's right.
She's been candid about it. She's been honest about it. And it has been an emotional roller coaster as a fan, as, the public, to witness this woman that's so talented that, we love, for so many reasons. Not being able to have her own children.
Yes.
And, finally getting the man of her dreams, having, the wonderful marriage that we all have coined Black love. Like, they are one of the top echelon couples that we look to for couple goals, Black love, like anything. Will and Jada and them are like the two that come to mind. So to have to realize and reconcile the fact that she's not able to have children and she wants to have children, that has been tough to watch, and I can only imagine her going through it herself. So like, do you have any
what I think about this whole situation? Glory to God, for one, not to sound like an old lady sitting on a rocking chair. Glory to God, hallelujah. No, I'm not that. I'm just saying, I recognize her testimony. You're so silly. I recognize the fact that there was a woman that yearned a child. And there's something about being able to bear children in a natural form, if you will, because of the idea that we are able to birth through us. So as a woman, it's really special to say that you can have that opportunity to hold a child in your belly and to go through the gamut of the different emotions and the things that come along with the pregnancy. And it's something really special about being able to say that you had that chance. Some women aren't able to do that, and then they may feel as if they're inadequate because they're unable to do so, because that is what comes kind of natural for us. And I can understand her struggle, because at one point in my life, I wanted to have more children, but for whatever reason, it just isn't meant to be. We had many oopsies, but nothing happened, So there's something about knowing that you were able to feel what the next woman on the side of you was able to, endure in a positive way, such as giving birth. And, for instance, when I was younger, I was a really small person. Like, I was just slim. I was just like straight like a board. I was A cup. So when my mother and my sister would go to like a Macy's or whatever to choose bras, brasiers, if you will, they would go into a section where it'll be like, the B, C cups or whatever, and I was an A, and I looked like I had a training bra, and I hated it. I hated it with a passion, and I felt like I wasn't as woman enough. You see what I'm saying, where I'm going with that? Because there's something about just knowing that we're able to ultimately declare who we are as a person, as a woman, when we're able to do womanly things. So when Gabrielle Union said, she wanted to have children, and then, her fans are watching her go through the idea of not being able to, and we witness her pain. As a woman, I think we can sympathize very easily with that, because you just know when you're not feeling like you're your best woman. I don't know if that makes sense, but yeah, I'm happy for her. I'm extremely happy for her, because now she's able to say that this is her, a piece of her. Because when you have children, it's an extension of you, and you want that child to succeed. You want your children to succeed, because they are something that's supposed to be better than you, or bigger than you, and you want them to be productive citizens in this world, but you want them to be a reflection of you as well, the same way that you could tie in God if you want to go that deep, so there's something about winning in that magnitude, and I'm excited for her, because it is her. And if anything, there's 3 people involved, and Trinity is a wonderful thing. Number 3 is awesome. So now you have a version of Dwayne Wade, a version of Gabrielle Union, and a surrogate. Whoever that surrogate was, it was so meant to be. That person was meant to be on this earth so that she could bring that joy to that family. And I think if anything, this child, what is her name? Kavea? Which is a beautiful name. Kavea James Union Wade. She's going to go really far in this world with such an imaginative name and such an imaginative parents.
Yeah,
they're going to go far.
Yeah, 2 very talented individuals, came together to produce,
that's right,
this bundle of joy. And her future is so bright.
Yes.
She's going to have the utmost respect, support, resources, to be the best woman, and just, really be able to capture, her full potential.
That's right.
And, you definitely touched on a lot of interesting points about women and the role that we play, and, feeling like when we are not able to do something that naturally women are supposed to do, that feeling of inadequacy and that feeling of, I am not a whole woman, I am not good enough, I'm not enough, and that, playing a part on our emotional, our psyche, our self-esteem,
absolutely,
our confidence, I think that it can, add to a lot of stress that we already have.
That's right.
And it can put you in depression for some women, and it just makes you feel like it's not enough. Whatever you already have going on, like, because that one area has a question mark on it at the moment, you don't know what's going to happen. You're trying. And now you have to do IVR. Now you're freezing your eggs. Now you're, looking into the possibility of adoption or surrogacy. So now it becomes, I'm not able to make this happen within myself.
That's right.
What does that say about me?
That's right.
And I think that I personally can't relate, of course, at this point, but I feel like women that have gone through that, those thoughts must have run through their mind.
I'm sure, at one point or another. Absolutely. They'll feel as if they need to find a way to make things better.
Yeah.
Whether it be to, engulf themselves in, I don't know, old childhood stories, or just finding groups to be in where they're just surrounded by children. There's many ways where women find themselves wanting to be, a parent, even though they are unable to have the child right away. And the funny thing about life is, when you find yourself yearning for something so much, so hard, so, like you can't get any sleep over it or whatever, sometimes when you let go of things, that's when better things happen. And I don't know Gabrielle Union's situation, but I wouldn't be surprised if at one point she created peace for herself, because she said, you know what, let me just try the surrogate. If this is the last thing that can work for us, and it could bring a baby into this world, then, so be it. And if it doesn't work out, then, so be it. And I just personally feel like maybe it's just the right timing. You know what I'm saying?
Timing is
yeah,
such
like
a
no
huge
matter
part of everything.
That's right, because she could have been pressing for so long, and then it just wasn't the right time. So now is the time. So I don't know. I'm really happy for them and their new love, their bundle of joy.
I'm so happy for them. I really am. I feel like, their family is complete now. Their connection, the meaning of their relationship has come full circle with this baby.
Yes,
I think that, this baby, it really means a lot to
Absolutely.
them. More than ever.
Absolutely.
Because of the trials and tribulations that she has gone through, that they have gone through as a family, and I feel like, I think she's going to be a great mom. I feel like she's been preparing for this.
That's
like,
right. That's
with the false alarms, with, the instances that didn't work out where she miscarried, and wasn't able to, with the IVR,
That's tough.
In vitro process, that not taking quite well. I feel like she's ready to be a mom. Like, this has been the moment she's been anticipating. It's
like the
for
preparation. Yes. She prepared herself with all of that. It felt like some kind of trial, tribulation that was going on. It felt like there was some adversity in her life, but it prepared her for now. Yes. So now that she's a little stronger mentally, physically, emotionally, all of these things are just a ball of goodness. How about that? A ball of goodness for this baby. That's what that was for. Yeah, it was just to make her think differently, so that when Kavea arrived in the world, she'll be able to have a mom that was able to protect her and, just conquer all of the other adversities that may come her way. And I think it's a beautiful thing that Kavea is here now. It was meant to be. I'm excited for Miss Gabrielle Union, because her and Dwayne Wade are examples of Black love, and I love it from the bottom of my toes. I love everything about it.
Yes, me too. Like, shout out to them. Shout out to Black love.
This has been strong.
This has been a long
powerful.
time coming, and I feel like, Dwayne Wade is on his paternity leave right now as he's phrasing it, which is so cute. I love it. Like, it's his last year. His last year in the NBA season. He's going to be retiring next season, so he's calling it. It's perfect. It really is, because he's gonna go into retirement having a job. He's gonna be a dad. He's already a fabulous dad, from what I've heard, from what I've seen with his 3 kids. But now adding the newborn and everything, it's like, he's gonna be a new dad, and he's gonna be an old NBA player. He's leaving, the Heat. He's gonna be retiring and everything. And another teammate that may be leaving their team sooner rather than later is Kevin Durant.
Oh, yeah.
Based on all the drama that's been going on with him and, Draymond Green. So we're going to get into that for sure. That's definitely spicy.
Totally.
It's very spicy right now. It's cayenne pepper spicy.
I like Draymond Green.
What do you like about him?
I like the idea of his, he seemed feisty, but I feel like he know what he wants. I feel like he's the bad boy on the team right now, the black sheep. and some people aren't going to side with him because he seems to lose his cool quickly. But a lot of people have different ways of communicating. I don't know. I feel like he could be misunderstood.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think I think that Kevin Durant, and I love me some KD, but he could be acting as if he's, you know, so coy and so, you know, like I didn't do anything, innocent. Yeah, but he's really the bully. But because of Draymond's like personality, he's
and
like,
his history.
Yo, I don't have nothing to do with what you doing here on our team, and you know, like let me just you know, call you out because nobody else have the kahunas. Nobody else is brave enough to do so. You see what I'm saying with that?
Right.
So I think that's why he's like the bad boy right now.
Yeah, because he's willing to take the brunt of a lot of things. Like everyone on the team he said what everyone is thinking. I feel like everybody's thinking about Kevin Durant's free agency. Mm-hmm. Everyone is wondering and trying to rack their brains on what's really about to happen right now. Like, is he really about to leave us high and dry? Is he really about to dip on us? Or is he gonna, you know, re-up his contract and continue this dynasty that we've built together? Mm-hmm. And it's the way that Kevin Durant has been carrying on since the season has started is that he's playing coy. He's not really taking side. He's not really making, you know, a very clear, you know, stance on where he's heading. He's kind of like, we'll see. So he's taking the LeBron James route. LeBron is known for, you know, kind of giving the media a little bit, but not too much. Where it's like, okay, I think he's going to do this, but at the same time, he's probably not gonna do this. Like he's gonna leave. Like no, he's gonna resign. Like bluff. You know, it's really like 50-50. Like it can go either way. And the issue is that like the whole team feels like why hasn't Kevin Durant made that effort to nip things in the bud, to really make the media understand like I'm gonna resign with this team, because he's not. That's the thing that it's a mental like seesaw basically for the Warriors team. And Draymond is the outspoken one. He's the outlandish one.
The outcast.
The black sheep, the one that will, you know, get the slap on the wrist or whatever, and he'll take it because he knows he's the bad one. He's going to mess up again anyway. Yep. Like, that's who Draymond Green is. And he doesn't care. He's okay with it. Yep. You know what I mean? Because that's just the type of dude he is. So, I don't know. Like, so basically there was a fight that happened a little while back in a Clippers game where they were in overtime. They lost in overtime. Draymond Green was bringing the ball down the court. Kevin Durant was clapping for him to pass him the ball so he can hit the shot so that they can beat the Clippers in overtime, because I think they were down 2 or something like that. And Draymond just kept dribbling, and then he lost the ball. So they lost the game, and Kevin Durant was not happy about that. And I guess Draymond felt some type of way as well, like he was demanding the ball in a certain way where it's like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's so funny.
Why are you like slapping your hands and like getting all mad about it? Like, I decided to take the ball for my own, you know what I mean? And it's like, I'm a respected player as well. I'm the glue that keeps the Warriors together, which is what Draymond is known as. He has a very integral piece to that team. He is the, you know, the dog, you know what I mean, in the team, and he has been the one to keep that team together and to give that toughness that they don't really have. They're kind of soft without him.
That's so funny that you say that. That's so true too. Yeah. Because he brings the strength. I see exactly why you say that, and I think
that grit. That grit they don't quite have.
Right. That's right. And I think with KD being on the team now, it's kind of like a threat in a way, just a little bit, to his ego, you know, to Draymond Green's ego, because it's something about men and masculinity and knowing that if there's another man that's nearby who can do something just as good or if not better, then they have to like lay it on them to let them know like, yo, I'm still just as good. And like what we used to call it, and I hope I don't, you know, make myself look older than what I am, but we used to call it heads up. when like the guys would just be like, you know, ready to go at it or whatever, but it's always based off of who's bigger, who's stronger, like the masculinity of it all. And I think Draymond Green is just trying to say, yo, I've been up here, this is my team. You came into my house, you know what I mean? And who are you? I don't care what your accolades are. I don't care who you are. You know, you can impress people with whatever. And no, I'm not a hater because I don't agree with you. And can I just say something about that? This hater thing is being spun so loosely. People use it loosely for defined. Everything. Because you don't agree on something, now you're a hater.
Now you're a hater, yeah.
That's what's lame. Yeah, that's what's lame. But, you know, it's something about Draymond Green just saying, hey, I don't need you to tell me who I am as a player. I've been doing this. And I don't care what the other, you know, people on our team have to say right now. This is about me and you. And I don't like how you are disrespecting me. And I think you have every right to say, you know, like, check yourself. I really do.
Yeah, it's you know, Draymond, he's doing what needs to be done because this is a major question on everyone's mind right now, whether they want to play it off and act like, oh no, they're just focused on this season and it's all about getting that three-peat, right? That's the tunnel vision they have right now. Three-peat. They won 2 championships back to back. They're trying to go for that third one in a row, which would be a huge deal. The Lakers were the last team to do it. So they're really looking to get that, you know. But at the same time, you have to also look to the future as well. And Draymond, being the basketball guru that he is, he's very, very knowledgeable on the court. You know, his basketball IQ is very high, and that people know him for that. Yeah, so he's probably thinking about a lot of intricate things that you know, that people don't really want to bring up, because this is a high-profile NBA player, Kevin Durant. Who's going to be the one to stir the trouble? Klay Thompson? No. You know what I mean? That's what it boils down to. Steph Curry? Absolutely not. So it's going to be Draymond. So, I mean, I'm not mad at it. I think that the issue that people are really having is the way that he did it. The timing and the way that he did it. On the court, in front of every damn body.
He lost his emotion.
Exactly. Now he's being petty, taking jabs that we don't need you. Like, we won without you. Just leave. That's the quotes that is being circulated that that is rumored that Draymond has said. Just leave. We don't need you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you're making the whole season about you because you're not clarifying things about your free agency. So all of this is coming out on that bench after the game, and it spills into the locker room as well.
Absolutely. I'm sure.
So the fight doesn't just end on the sidelines. It goes into the locker room. It escalates. So, so it's like, you know, now the Warriors gave Draymond a 1-day suspension. So that's the other thing in the story that's so interesting. The Warriors management decided, we're going to suspend Draymond Green. We're going to give him a slap on the wrist. They didn't really have to suspend him. It's one of those things where it's based on, you know, opinion or whatever, but they did it because they wanted to show that, hey, Kevin Durant, we worship the ground you walk on. We'll kiss your feet. We will beg you, because they want Kevin Durant to resign at all costs, whatever it takes. So that's why they suspended Draymond.
Yeah, I'm
sure. Because
we think about it. That's a good point.
So how is that going to make Draymond feel when it comes down to the wire? Like, dang, my team that I'm the one that I played a very valuable role in this whole thing that we got going on. Let's be real. Draymond is a very valuable piece, like, period.
That's right.
And now they just turn their back on me to, like, hurry up and go, like, kiss Kevin Durant's ass because we got into a scuffle.
You know what's going to be interesting?
Who's backing me? Nobody's backing me.
You know what's going to happen? I can foresee this, and I'm going to put 5 on it. Check this out. You know, when you're in class, like when you were younger, and the teacher said everybody gets an F, and then everybody's like, what? Well, you gave us the test. Well, what happens is the teacher who failed the whole class is actually reflecting how she teaches. So when I say that, Draymond Green, you know, he's done his thing. We already know how great, how stellar of a player he really is. And then because of this little snafu that just happened, it's going to bring him down into a little bit of I don't know what word I want to use. Let's just say, you know, he's in a mind frame where he feels as if he's undervalued. And
bring him to like an epiphany or something?
Not necessarily an epiphany or a realization, same difference, but the idea of him saying, well, I don't have to put my all into it anymore because
I know where your loyalty lies and it's not with me.
And it's not with me, so then why should I play so hard anymore? Well,
that's an interesting point.
Yeah, because now we know why he's not going to play any harder. He's not going to play as hard because we've already seen what just happened, you know? So then it's going to make the player just, I don't know, not put his all into it anymore.
I could definitely see that happening for sure. Mm-hmm. I could definitely see that happening because, like, no matter how you want to slice it, the Warriors have chosen sides. Whether they want to agree to that or not, they've chosen sides. Like, and Draymond is not an idiot. Mm-hmm. He's very sharp. He's very smart in business as well as what he does on the floor. Mm-hmm. So you can only imagine what he's interpreting from all of this. Wow, that's how it is? Y'all gonna do me like that?
That's right.
Okay, all right, bet. So it's going to be interesting seeing how the rest of the season goes because right now he's injured, so he's like out for the next few games.
It was so meant to be so that he can recoup.
That's what I was
think about what's going to go on, you know, for his future.
So many sources have come out this year saying that he was going to already be leaving even before all of this Draymond stuff happened. But now that the Draymond stuff has happened, I think all signs kind of point to yes, that he will be leaving. I think the tension is just going to be too much.
Yeah.
You
could cut it with a knife.
And even if they fake apologize and make up, it's only so far that you can go when you know, like, damn, like, the back and forth that they had, Draymond was saying some stuff. Like, he was going in on Kevin, like, oh, you're a bitch and this and that and the free agency and we don't need you. And, like, this is stuff that you can apologize for, but people aren't going to just forget it happened.
Words are so
I
strong.
mean? Absolutely, especially when it's so negative and you really mean what you're saying. And people know, like, when this, like, wow, this is how you feel, like, you've just been holding this in so long, but now it's all, the truth is coming out
there.
Kevin is not, he's not stupid. Like, he's going to remember all of this for the rest of the season. He may put it to the side. He may ignore it. He may be the bigger man and just say, let's get this championship. But believe me, when that season ends, he's going somewhere else. I don't know where he's going. You know what I mean? But I don't think he's going to stay. And I think that Draymond Green is definitely going to get some of the blame for that. You know what I mean? I think people are going to be like, if it wasn't for Draymond and Kevin falling out, like, the Warriors could have still had a chance to retain Kevin. Like,
oh my goodness.
I think the chances would have been higher that they could have convinced him that, hey, just stay here. But now with the Draymond situation, it's either they need to get rid of Draymond and keep Kevin down the line, so they need to trade for Draymond Green.
You know what I want?
Or they may lose both of them.
I know. Oh, that would be wild. But what I truly, truly, genuinely want is for them to hash it out. It's for them to have a dinner. get some steak and potatoes.
Have some beer.
I don't know. Get some beer. Whatever floats your boat. Put some freaking vanilla ice cream on it. I don't know. But sit down and talk it out. Because it's real interesting how people around you can want to see the fire be fueled, you know, with the emotions of Draymond Green being upset, Kevin Durant being upset, and then they want them to just collide and become, you know, something that just doesn't have to be. So I don't know. I'm hoping that maybe on the sideline, you know, behind cameras or whatever, that they can hash it out and then maybe make amends, because that'll make a difference for the whole team in general. Because that is wild to just be, you know, so upset right now when there's nothing to be upset about. Draymond Green is ready for the battle with KD. And we, the people at home, the viewers at home, are looking at it as Draymond Green being the black sheep, or, you know, someone who's just starting trouble. But little do we know that KD is, you know, acting as if he's, oh, it's not me. It's you know, it's this team. It has nothing to do with me, or it's how they're doing. But yet he's talking junk behind the scenes. Yeah, I think there's something up with that. I really do. Because I see how Draymond Green could be a cool person. Cool,
no,
calm,
he is. He's
yeah,
very
like
cool,
calm, and
very
collective.
funny.
Yeah, cool, calm, and collective. And what does that say about his character? It says a lot. So we cannot dismiss that. Yep.
I respect that.
Yep.
I
so
agree with
KD
that.
comes in, and then he does his thing, and Draymond Green is like, yo.
It's some bullshit.
Yep, this some BS. And nobody else see this? Y'all don't see that? Y'all don't see that roach on the wall? You know what I'm saying with that? You remember that old school? It was this old school comedy. This guy was like, yo, have you ever gone to a family dinner and then everybody's sitting at the table and then a roach appears at the table?
What?
But everybody act like they don't see it. But they see it, and everybody know what a roach is. You don't want a roach at your dinner table.
What the hell?
Yup. So then the guy is like, so what do? Y'all don't see this? Like, I'm not going to sit there.
Like, who's going to be the first person to call the roach out?
Exactly.
Who's going to be the whistleblower on the damn roach? Because who wants to be looking at a roach when I'm eating good food?
Exactly.
Like,
that's
what?
Draymond Green. That's Draymond Green.
In
He's like, y'all don't see this. He's like, forget this. I'm going to say something. Y'all not going to say nothing. Y'all peons. I'm going to say something. And Draymond Green, he just strikes me as that person who's keeping it real.
I agree with that. He's very, very transparent. Very, like, what you see is what you get with Draymond. And love it or hate it, he's going to be him. And there is a idea that you should respect that.
I agree.
And I do respect that for sure.
It's going to be interesting as to where they go with this.
The next topic that we're going to talk about is definitely, you know, it's for sure heartbreaking, but it had to be in the big three, you know, because it is such big news. Diddy's baby mother, life partner, ex-girlfriend, or I don't know exactly what to call her, but she did pass away last week at 47 years old. Right. So I certainly wanted to put this in the big three. And just, you know, just send my prayers, my condolences to the entire Combs as well as the Porter family, and their extended family. You know, there is a lot of lives that are affected by this, the loss. Absolutely. And I just want to pray that God is with them, that He is strengthening them, that He is ministering to them during this time, the time that they're grieving. Yes. That they will be uplifted, that they will be, you know, supported and surrounded with joy, with just comfort. Yeah. During this time.
It's so sad.
Yes, it is. It's very sad. The death was definitely, I believe it was very sudden. It wasn't really expected. And the way she passed away was from, I believe it was from
cardiac arrest?
Yes.
I'm
that's
unsure
what was reported. Was that she went into cardiac arrest. So I don't think it was anything that they were preparing for, that she was in the hospital for so long and that, you know, she was on life support or anything. It wasn't anything like that. So it just goes to show that life is really that short. You know, it's precious. It's very precious. It's very fragile. And you know, and it's not guaranteed. And you know, it's a gift. It's a gift to be alive. It's a gift to wake up in the morning and to have another day in front of you. It's truly a gift. There was a lot of reactions from the family so many Instagram posts that I've seen over the last several days from different celebrities, different artists, you know, of course, the kids, Quincy,
oh my goodness.
yes, Quincy, Christian Combs.
They're so young.
Yeah, so young. Cassie posted as well.
That's special. That's nice.
Yeah, there was a lot of people. Tyga, you know, it's so many people that have posted about this woman that, you know, it's interesting because she kind of has stayed out of the spotlight. We know who she is. She is very well known, but at the same time, she is kind of private as well. Like, we know who she's associated with and who her kids are, and that her and obviously Diddy were in a relationship for a very long time when he was much younger, and it didn't work out, but they did decide to carry on with co-parenting and creating and facilitating that loved, healthy environment for in raising their kids, which they were doing a very good job on. It seemed like, because the family is very close, well raised, well like mannered. Like, you can tell, like, you know what I mean? Like, they're not like kids that are just like wilding. You know what I mean? So obviously the mother and Diddy, them parenting their child as a unit, it shows in all of the kids. They seem very well groomed, well mannered, like, you know, yeah, they're rich and everything, but like, it hasn't gotten to their head. Like, they still have values and morals and everything. And this is definitely absolutely devastating to the family as well as to the hip hop community.
Ooh, yes, absolutely. I agree wholeheartedly. There's something about growing up with the Diddy, because when he was starting Bad Boy, and you know, he had who was on his team, like, besides Mary J. We all know that's the beginning of it all. Yeah,
Mary J. 112.
Yes sir. You know, there's something about seeing him progress and how he evolved into a very humble human being, and despite him having access to everything that he can possibly want on earth, and to lose someone that's so close to you, that's such a devastation. And I can only imagine how hard it could be for him and his entire family, especially for the young children, because there's nothing like losing your mother. There's power in being a woman, and there's definitely more power in being a mother. And when I say that, and this reverts back to Gabrielle Union and, you know, people who have the opportunity to be a mother and you know, have the joy of the extension of yourself, that there's something about, you know, a missing piece now. My mother is still here on earth. I love her so much. I could only, you know, want to be like her. I strive to be like her. So these words that I say is similar to her. But I think that, you know, she was awfully young, and I think that this woman left a major impact amongst those who love her so much, including Diddy's ex-girlfriend Cassie. And that says a lot to me, because when women have a man and there's the ex-woman that's involved, you know, sometimes you want to compare yourself and you want to say this, that, and the other, and you want to make yourself bigger and better so that your man could pay more attention to you instead of the ex, right? But Cassie, she sent out a nice note, and she just respected, you know, the deceased, and that says a lot. It says a lot. I'm at loss for words, because it's such a touchy subject. You know, death is one of those things that are inevitable, but we all have to find a way to cope. And sometimes through words, whether it's written or just, you know, just conveyed, you know, verbally, that there could only be a certain amount of solace that's, within that. But I think it's a beautiful thing that the family stepped up to say that this woman had left a legacy here on earth, and it's not through her children only, but through the way that she lived. And I caught that from everything that was posted through social media.
Yeah, so Diddy, he's taking this hard, as you can imagine, the mother of his kids and someone that has been, on this ride with him all of his career, all of his life. She's been there, supportive, from afar, being a great mother to their kids. Everyone has such great things to say about her. It's really sad. It's an untimely death.
She was ready to go, some may think.
Yeah.
That's my philosophy when it comes to living on earth, and what is it that you're here to contribute to, and what are you here for? And I think for my own ideology, I believe that she completed what she needed to do, and it was time for her to go. And that's how I cope with death, personally. So I know that it sounds, it could be cliche, and it could just sound insensitive to some people. But I think that she came here and she said, this is what my duty is. I'm going to raise these children. I'm going to, meet Diddy and do this, that, and the other, whatever, vice versa. And I think it was time for her to say, it's time for me to do something new now, to try another chapter or whatever in her own soulful life.
Soulmates and relationships and your significant others, like, it just screams to, like, the importance of loved ones and families, which takes me into my next segment. So we're gonna get into it right now.
Opinions, advice, and experiences on real life topics. Listen up. It's time for Couch Conversation.
Do you feel like him giving Kim Porter the soulmate title was appropriate, is understandable? Do you feel like it's kind of like out of bounds? Like, where does that leave Cassie? Is that, you know what I mean? Like,
exactly what you're saying. I really do. And I can only equate that to my personal relationship. In my mind, I've been with my husband for 21 plus years, and wow. I think he's my soulmate. And when I say soulmate, I'm thinking he's the one, the only one. But then what's interesting is that you meet people that's intertwined in your lives for so many different reasons, for so many different purposes. And whether it's an ex-girlfriend or ex-boyfriend, they were there to show you something, to teach you something. And I think that mate at the time was actually a way to speak to your soul. So I think that, sure, you can actually have more than one soulmate.
So you feel like Kim Porter and Cassie were both his soulmates?
At different points of his life. I think that Kim Porter was supposed to be Kim Porter for X amount of years, for whatever reason, to bear his children or whatever. And then Cassie came about because something else into his life. Soulmate in general could be, one person and you just stick with that person and there's no comparison. But I think that every person, every human being on this earth is to teach us something. That's just my philosophy. That's my own idea of what human beings are supposed to do. We're supposed to teach each other something. You and I were having this conversation, we're shooting a podcast, but guess what? Deep down, we were supposed to connect some kind of way so that we can ultimately do something special. That also will lead me into saying that those who come into your lives, whether negative or positive, was supposed to be in your life. Whether you summons them up, you could have thought really hard, because I believe that your thoughts become action.
Yes.
But I believe that it was supposed to be, so that you as an individual can become better, or become something more, stronger than what you were before, learn more than what you were supposed to before, for whatever reason. This is how I live, so that I can navigate through this world. But I don't know. I think that despite him being with Cassie and him having a longer, history with Kim Porter, I believe that him saying that she was a soulmate does not give any disrespect to Cassie, because Cassie came into his life for another purpose, to better himself. And from there, that was his mate. It was a soul still connecting. That's how I'm looking at it. We are souls on this earth. Spirit is within us, and how we project, how we want people to see us. The soul is the outer portion of us, how you want people to see you physically. And that's just how I look at things. I'm not saying that is right or wrong, but I don't know. That's why I'm saying that you can have many different soul mates. I don't know if that sounds weird or not, but you can have many soulmates in my mind, because of us all being souls. So you just find a way to interact with these people, learn something from them, and then better yourself, evolve from there. And then your spirit will change. Your spirit will become better. Your spirit will become something more profound than what you could ever imagine. Something that will allow you to be light in a room whenever you walk in, or what have you. Right. But I think the interaction with different people will allow you to become who you are meant to be while you're on earth. We're human beings. We're human beings. We are so strong and powerful, and we are God-like. We are in his image. We were made in his image.
Amen.
We have all of these wonderful qualities that we can use. It's just a matter of us tapping into it as a human being. But as our soul here on earth, what do we do with this soul? We're trying to learn ourselves. We look forward to tomorrow, because we're trying to understand who we are today.
I like that. Look forward to tomorrow, because we are trying to understand who we are today.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is interesting. That's interesting. I don't know if I agree that we have multiple soulmates. I'm not like,
Yeah, sure.
hardcore on my stance, like, oh, this is, what I believe for the end of time or whatnot.
Yeah.
I mean, I do feel like the term soulmate is designated for that one person that is meant to be in your life for the rest of your life. I feel like there are many soulmate false alarms. That's how I feel. People that you thought was your soulmate, that you really thought, like, wow, like, this is it, and it doesn't work out. Now they are no longer. I just feel like there's one position, like there's one slot for a soulmate, and sometimes it seems like an individual fits the soulmate slot, but it doesn't work out. So now you are slotted out. Like, you're not. You know what I mean?
Like I respect it.
And it doesn't mean they didn't contribute to your life. It wasn't a great relationship. It wasn't something that you took good things away from. It doesn't mean any of that at all. It could be what it was. It's just that the soulmate, it just means to me. And I'm speaking from smaller experience than what you have, so this can very well change in the future.
It's your experience, yeah.
But I just feel like the soulmate thing is more singular. Like, it is more like that one person, that one individual that's playing that one role. And if somebody comes along and they come into your life and they leave it, they are no longer your soulmate. Like, maybe you thought they were the soulmate at that time, but that is not the reality, because God is saying, keep turning the page. There's more to the chapter. This chapter is going to end and a new one is going to start, and that will actually have your soulmate. You thought this was your soulmate, and there's nothing wrong with that, but you will soon learn that that is not your soulmate. So that's how I think about it, that it's one person is designated for one person, and there's many. You have to kiss many frogs before you get to your prince, right?
That's right.
And you don't realize they're a frog until you reflect back and say they were a frog. Like, you thought they were the prince when you were kissing them. Otherwise, who wants to kiss a frog? You know what I mean? Like, you're not just gonna kiss frogs. Like, oh yeah. I mean.
So when do you find the idea of soulmate being the end all and be all? Like, when do you say that this is the soulmate, since you went through several people or souls, if you will, that may allow you to conclude that you're together forever now? You know, everybody wants forever, but forever isn't promised. It just isn't.
No, it's not.
And just the old adage, what is this? Oh my gosh, I'm so blank. Don't.
It's okay.
Never say never.
Yeah.
You know, like, I've learned to never say never.
I think that's a good.
I've learned that.
That's
never
a good motto
never.
In life. Never say
because
never.
Because when you say, I will never, oh, she will never, he never did this.
This will never happen.
This will never.
It's not possible.
You are not exempt. So with that being said, I use that as a way of saying, with soulmate, no matter how many times you decide to date someone or, you know, stick with one person and hope that that is your soulmate, when do you say that this is my soulmate?
I don't think it's more so you claiming someone to be your same soulmate, but instead God claiming someone to be your soulmate and him revealing that to you. So I think a lot of times, you know, when you are in that building process of you're dating, you may even have children by alleged person that you think is a soulmate. In your mind, you think that they're your soulmate, but it doesn't mean that that is the reality. God is still the end all be all. He's has the final say. So he's looking down on you and looking at you like, okay, you think that's your soulmate? Well, that's going to change pretty soon. You just don't know it yet, but you know what I mean? So in my eyes, I feel like the soulmate, it's a topic that is constantly considered, and you're constantly thinking about it. And when you do fall in love with people, because we are able to fall in love with many people, it's not just a one and done situation. You can be in love with people, you can love people for different reasons, and you can have love for people, and your baby's fathers that you share children with may not be your soulmate. It's a thing, you know. So it's that, I think the soulmate title is really designated for that one person, but it's just a matter of God introducing that person to your life and you being able to connect and cross paths with that person. There are going to be many imposters. There are going to be many people that look like they fit the mold, and that doesn't take away from their lives and their characteristics, but it's just they're not your soulmate. Even if you have children with them, even if you got engaged, even if you were in a 6-year relationship, whatever the case was, it doesn't necessarily mean that they're your soulmate. It felt good in the moment. It felt right. It felt real. But if the relationship ends and then you're not with that person anymore, it's kind of like, is that really your soulmate? And it's complicated. It can be complicated because there are some instances where you break off with your soulmate, you know, and that person is your soulmate, but you should always find your way back to that person. I think it's a very strong spiritual tie. It's a spiritual feeling. I agree. It's something that can't really be described very well.
Absolutely.
But I just think it's one person. That's my thing.
So it's going to sound like I'm contradicting myself.
I respect your thought process from earlier. I respect it.
Undoubtedly respect yours because I'm in it now. I know I've found my soulmate. So my question to you was kind of devil's advocate. My reasoning of knowing for a fact that I found my soulmate is that when we can lay down together in bed, and I have my head on his chest and my breathing actually coincides with his. It actually links up. All of a sudden, it links up. It has nothing to do with me just trying to breathe like him, but all of a sudden, my breath, the cadence of breath stops with his. It goes with his. And there's something about, and I told you earlier, 21 plus years. So hey, what do you expect?
Yeah.
But there's something about knowing when you are there. But before that, meeting different people, I thought he was my soulmate because we did this, that, and the other, and
it felt good, and it felt like
good.
It was love, and I felt
right.
like I was in love with him, and
ultimate.
maybe you did fall for him.
Yeah, but I didn't have the breath with that person versus another so it's really interesting as to how when someone decides on who the soulmate is, when do you declare that person as your soulmate?
Yeah, it's really deep. It's really deep. I mean, I'm an amateur in it, but I like that, the whole resting your head on your husband's chest, and
we link up together.
Yeah,
every breath will become one.
Yes,
it will.
The Bible says that when you get married with your significant other, you become one.
Yes, we are one.
So
I believe.
I think parallels what a soulmate should be, someone that you become one with. I think that, in a nutshell, is the best way to describe it. You just become one with them mentally, spiritually, physically. Everything just links up, and it's spiritually right.
Yes.
It's spiritually sound.
Yes.
You feel it, you hear it, you sense it.
That's right.
And everything just lines up that way. So
I agree, but it's fun having several soul mates that you can learn from trial and error, so that you know what you're looking for.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying with that? You may have a couple of boyfriends, a couple of girlfriends, and then you say to yourself, this isn't what is a soulmate for me, and then you move on. But yeah, I don't know. From the beginning of time, Akhenaten and his wife and Tutankhamun, that family was created some kind of way, but he had many other wives before that. So who was the one, to come into place to create a new chapter for him? And I don't know. Maybe I'm going off the beaten path, but I'm just saying from the test of, not the test of time, from the beginning of time, people were looking for a soulmate, I think.
Yeah, that search never goes.
Yeah, they didn't know what it was back then. 5,000, 10,000, maybe even hundreds of thousands of years ago. But we just know that we're supposed to be connected to another person. And that is why I was referencing soulmate, as in we find ourselves being really connected to a particular person.
Right.
And then with that particular person, we learn something.
Social media, foolery approved. Listen up. It's time for, really?
Pastor John Gray gets a lot of backlash after a clip from the Sister Circle Live, which is a show on TV One, goes viral. Okay, so few things from this clip that everyone is talking about. That he talks about how his wife was a coat for him, and that he can still not fit it because it was 2 sizes too big. When he met her, the coat that she held was 2 sizes too big, and that he still doesn't fit it, even up to this day. He says that my wife has endured more pain birthing me than both of our children. She has sacrificed these last 8 years uncovering the painful areas of my manhood and covering the areas that could have exposed me. So right now I'm going to go to the clip from the Sister Circle Live where he talks about this in great detail.
The wife that I chose is better than the man that I am. I married a woman 2 sizes too big. I have to grow into Aventer. She's a coat. I still can't fit her. She's bigger than me. And she's had to cover me while I grow up. I got to grow into her.
So she's a covering.
She's a covering, not a lid.
Ooh,
because if a man marries a lid, she'll stop your dream. But if you marry a covering, she'll push you to your destiny. Now, I'm about to shout and tear this whole thing up. I'm just telling you.
All the way out of this too.
Let me tell you something. My wife has endured more pain birthing me than both of our children. She has sacrificed these last 8 years uncovering the painful areas of my manhood and covering the areas that could have exposed me. She deserves anything I can give her. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes.
I'm going to live the rest of my life to honor her because she gave me what I couldn't give myself, which is a chance to heal while still seeing the God in me.
All right. Well, that was the clip that has been driving social media bonkers. Okay. This clip from Sister Circle, hosted by Selena Johnson and some other powerful melanated women, has gone viral. Pastor John Gray talking candidly about his wife and the relationship that they have, what she has done, what she has contributed, what she has sacrificed to make him the man that he is today. And keywords like birthing him, sacrificing 8 years, you know, this, that, and the third. It has been what a lot of people have been commenting about. So I definitely feel like, you know, I wanted to talk about this.
Totally.
Like, really, this clip has gone viral on Instagram, like I said. You know, and so, I mean, I want to open the floor to you in regards to the clip, to the interview on TV One with the Sister Circle Live show. Like, we watched, like, majority of that interview earlier on just to get a little bit of more context on what Pastor John Gray was really alluding to.
That's right.
Like, overall, what is your reaction? What is your stance?
Yes, now that I understand the backstory of that context, I believe the operative word is sacrifice. I think that there's always a give and take when it comes to a relationship, and he was merely saying that his wife decided to put her own ego aside, decided to put her own idea of what society believes what their relationship is supposed to be like aside, and say, honey, you know what, I'm complimenting you in this type of way to make you better. If I make you better, then we're better. We're a stronger unit. I feel like the idea of him saying that, what was it, that she birthed me?
Yes.
It sounds
that she endured more pain birthing me than both of our children.
See, it's a metaphoric type of standpoint. It isn't literal. It isn't, you know, figuratively spoken. I think it's more so him just saying that there's a new life that comes out of the idea of her giving more of herself to him than what he expected. So she sees something in him and she wants to just allow him to evolve into a better person, and she's just complimenting him that way for the little holes that are in the relationship or in his life or what have you. She just wants to fill it up with nothing but love, or it's all coming from a good place. I don't see anything negative from anything that he said. I feel like he's just saying that his wife is his partner and she's the one that is not necessarily taking control, but just sees where she can step in. And you would think that that would be the same for him. If she's lacking something, that he would step in and then contribute. So I don't know. I see love throughout the whole conversation. And I wouldn't fault him.
Unconditional.
Unconditional love. I wouldn't fault him for saying that, you know, he's covered by, you know, her, what was it, a jacket, a blanket, or whatever is going on. No matter what, it just sounds like he's just saying that he is comforted by his soulmate.
I like that. This is just a classic case of when social media works against you, basically.
Wow.
Like when something goes viral and it goes viral the opposite way. Like it's supposed to be going to the right and somehow it makes a detour and goes left.
Wow.
I find this whole thing interesting with, of course, the clip going viral. I don't see any like surprise in that. It was a very powerful clip. It's a pastor, a Christian man, talking about his relationship with his wife and how they have gotten to the successful point that they are today, because they have gone through a lot, but look at where they are now. Pastor John Gray was pastoring, an associate pastor with Joel Osteen's church in Houston. He now is the head pastor of his own church, and it's a big church as well.
And she was part of that.
The clip says it all. She's a big part of that.
That's right.
You know, 8 years and counting, okay?
Look at
but
that.
I think based on us watching the whole interview and seeing the context of where he was coming from, he was talking about being a mama's boy and, you know, not having a male figure in his life and, you know, having to endure, you know, a lot of teasing and insults from his social circles in school and things like that, and just talking about a lot of things that he was missing as a man, and how his wife was really able to fill in the gaps with that, is what he was trying to say, like you said earlier, as a metaphor, like his wife being a coat that was 2 sizes too big. I mean, I think that unfortunately it's a double-edged sword when it comes to social media, right? Because when viral stuff, you know, when clips go viral and pictures and images and, you know, these one-liners or memes or whatever, it's like that's all you see, and there's so much more to the story. So I don't want to crucify Pastor John Gray. You know, I don't know much about him. I'm just starting to kind of get to know him, and funny enough, my boyfriend was the one that sent me the clip of this video, and we were talking about it, and like we were being very positive about it, that, oh my gosh, like, look at how he's talking about his wife, and, you know, and my boyfriend was like, you know, mirroring some of, like, his, Pastor John Gray's sentiment to his own sentiment, so it was a beautiful moment or whatever, and then to read, like, days later, like, just kind of scrolling through Instagram, like, the comments, and it's on the Shade Room, it's here, it's there, and, like, people just say, oh my gosh, like, he's a terrible person, he's a terrible man, he's sending the wrong message, that, you know, you're basically telling women that they should get ready to birth their men. Like, they should get ready to not only birth actual little babies, but they should be prepared to birth grown-ass men. And why don't these men come to the relationship with more than what they have? And it was just a big thing. And I'm not trying to negate any of those opinions and those storylines and those things that are important. It's just funny, you know. The stance that I take is that this is the relationship that he has with his wife. Everybody's relationship is different. Nothing is identical. Nothing should be considered identical. Like, you have to take one relationship for what it is and take another for what it is.
Absolutely.
He was describing and trying to pay homage and pay the highest respects to a woman that he loved dearly. And I thought it was sweet. I thought maybe the word choicing could have been a little different based on the backlash that he has gotten. But I think it was coming from a good place. Watching the whole interview and seeing, you know, it's that, you know, he just had a lot missing in his life, and that is because of his upbringing and not having his father in his life, and his mom doing the best job that he could, and how close he is with his mom. But there were a lot of glaring issues that he was aware of, but it's just when you're in that place of, how do I fix it? How do I get over this? How do I become better despite my shortcomings? I know that it's there. it affects me, but I want to move past this. And I think that his wife was the source that helped him move past a lot of his shortcomings, a lot of his issues. I think social media is just messy. It's just basic as hell. It's simple-minded and like, if you want to drag someone and that's what it's going to be, that's what people are going to do, regardless of the content.
Regardless of the content.
But, yeah, so I think,
so true.
you know, I think the advice I can give to women is that know your worth. You know, know and figure out, you know, go on your own self-discovery who you are as a person.
That's right.
And also what you're looking to get from a relationship. Because if you are so smart, if you are so tactful, if you are so prepared, like someone like the big bad guy, if you view Pastor John Gray as the big bad guy that took advantage and manipulated his woman and made her do all these things, and it's like, no, you have power as well. You can say no, you can walk away, you can say, oh no, this is the terms of my agreement. I know you brought this contract, but I'm ripping this one up, and here is the revised one that I'm putting on the table. You as a woman have power, and you just have to take control of that and recognize that power. If you're you don't have to do what Adventure did, Pastor John Gray's wife. You don't have to be in her position. If you feel like, oh no, like that's ridiculous, you can just say, no, I'm not going to do what she did. I'm going to do mine different. You know what I mean? And as women, we have the power to say, I'm going to take Adventure's path because I have met someone that is not all the way together, but he has so much good things going on. Or you can just say, no, I'm not doing that. But the power is, the point I'm making is you can choose to do whatever you want to do. Don't look to the man to blame him that, oh my God, it's all your fault that I've gone through all this pain and suffering and you made me do this. No, he didn't.
That's right.
As a woman, you need to, stand up for yourself and gather those facts about what you want.
That's right.
And that's going to take a lot of prayer, a lot of guidance, a lot of talking to God and everything, but it's possible to be able to, I feel like, make those decisions without letting a man influence. You know what I mean?
Wholeheartedly agree.
How you feel or what you should be doing. Like, you can make those decisions on your own. If you're not down with birthing a man, if that's what you think it is, then you don't need to do that.
That's right.
And you can
no pressure.
Set that guy straight.
That's right.
That I'm not here for this. Like, you have stuff you need to work on. Like, we can be cool, we can be friends, but like, let's just keep this at a distance because you have a lot of things going on and I don't want to be involved in this stage of the process right now. Come back to me in 3 months and let's see what we can do. Like, you can do and say whatever. So for everyone that's just outraged and so taken aback, it's like, you don't have to do what she did. And it doesn't mean what she did is absolutely wrong. There's no right or wrong answer, I feel it, like, in this situation.
That's right.
If you feel it's wrong, do what you feel is right.
That's right.
Period.
Oh, that's nice. Very nicely said. Oh, my goodness. Tough act to follow.
No, I mean, that's just my take on it. I mean, as far as the questions that a lot of people have been posing is, should two people come to a relationship and be whole? Because basically from what that clip is saying is that he was nowhere near whole in the relationship and she just had to take everything undone in a hot ass mess and basically fix it all up, and it took 8 years to do it. That's basically what it looks like from what he said.
Yeah, I get it.
So with that peace in mind, should it be understood that people should be striving to come as whole as they can to a relationship, or is it okay to just come as you are, like Jesus says, in the congregation, come as you are and just see how it goes,
I think you should come as you are, because there are so many people that have skeletons in their closet that will be revealed not until later on in a relationship. So that when you're together and you're creating your come up together, then that's when things are, surfacing and being able to be dealt with, So like, nobody's going into a relationship like perfect. Nobody. You could put on your best suit. You put on your best, hair and makeup nowadays. Shoot. You could do anything, but that doesn't mean anything until you're like years into the relationship. 1-2 years, great. Boom, you're in there. You may not even burp in front of the person. But then after the next 3-4 years, then that's when you're really showing who you are as a person, I believe. And then from there, you're able to say that you've given your all and you want that person to succeed because you ultimately want to succeed. If it stops. Yeah. But there's something about, I don't know. There's something about wanting to just be a compliment to your partner. You're supposed to be something that they aren't, but not necessarily trying to overshadow that person or do something that will make that person feel belittled or inadequate. And I think that he just wanted to say nice things about his wife. That's all that I got from it.
Yeah, he was just trying to be very thoughtful and creative. Yeah, it got misconstrued. It got taken the wrong way. Sure.
But I also get the juxtaposition of people who wants to say, I'm a black woman and now I gotta do this too. I gotta take care of a man and now I gotta show him the ropes. But I think they're taking it out of context. But I understand that plight. I understand how there's so much on our shoulders as a black woman and how we have to maintain a household. We have to raise our children in society where, they'll be, judged or, so I understand it's like, really, we got to teach him to be a man? Shouldn't
he already be that?
Shouldn't he already be that? I understand that, but I don't think that's where he's coming from. I think that that's just our own idea of, adding on more to our multitasking, because we look at things that way. We see things where we need to fix things and we want to do it accordingly because that's just who we are. We are so strong in so many ways and so many beautiful, and strong isn't a bad thing. We have strong hair, we have strong skin, we have strong everything. We just do. We are that because we can take it on, because we can dissect. We can see different things in different lights and say, you know what, this man is somebody that's similar to my father, my grandfather, and I see all these wonderful qualities in them, and I see how he can become that. Let me just share the knowledge that I know of the great men that have, led, the way to where I am now, or what have you. And that's the compliment that I think that he was giving. The compliment that he was saying his wife, covered him. It doesn't mean that, she's shielding him, protecting him, dodging a bullet. It's nothing like that. From what I gather, it's just him saying that she is giving her all to him, and that she wants him to just know that there's a safe place in her. Because although we're extremely strong in so many ways, we're also very vulnerable and extremely soft. And I think he recognized that. He saw it as a way of giving homage, like you said earlier, and wanted to say that, my wife is doing all of this stuff, she's being all these different type of people, like a Renaissance woman, and at the end of the day, she found time for me. And with that being said, she's making me a better person because I didn't see what she saw in me. That's all that I saw from him. Wow, that was a tongue twister. I saw the do. What did I just say?
I thought you were struggling a little bit. You were struggling a little bit to get that out.
Okay, it was really tongue twister. But yeah, I thought it was beautiful.
I thought it was too. I really did. And it's kind of unfortunate that it's just been tainted by
Yeah.
the world's opinion and social media reaction,
right.
and
It's
a lot of
tainted,
people
that's a good
really
word.
dragging him, basically, like,
Yeah.
like, I wouldn't trust you as a pastor.
Oh my
Like, what kind of
goodness
message are you
gracious.
sending as a man to women? Women, please do not take this rhetoric as a sure thing, that we don't have to do this, and that's why I'm just going on record, reiterating that as women, the ball is in our court, no matter what. Men may be known to play basketball, but the ball is always in our court.
Can I say something?
Yeah.
What is the difference between the masculinity and the femininity of like a relationship? Because that in itself would determine why people feel the way that they do. Because those who feel like, the man is being coddled or, isn't being a man and they're so strong, I think that's what makes them feel as if they're unable to I don't know, just be, feminine, just to be the softness, the opposite of, the juxtaposition of what a man is supposed to be. So when a woman is saying that she got to do a man's job, I think that's the animosity that comes with it. That's the idea of her feeling conflicted. She doesn't want to take on that role. But there's nothing wrong with duality. There's something about that is life. There's something about men taking on women positions for little things, women taking on positions of masculine things. And I think that sometimes we forget about that, and that girls wear pink, guys wear blue. I think that's what happens sometimes. And
guys are supposed to be the ones that can fix the car and change the tire and bring home the bacon, and the women just raise the kids and
it's not always that way.
Do the laundry and iron and cook.
Yeah, it's okay to say, you know what, I see something that my man needs, and I'll just kind of like ease it in there. It doesn't mean you gotta emasculate him. It just means that you just see something that could make you both stronger, because you're a unit at the end of the day. So I don't know. It's just an interesting situation to be in. I wonder what his wife have to say.
Oh, well, she responded to Derek Jackson.
I did not know.
They went on, I guess they went on IG Live after Derek Jackson posted his reaction to it. They then followed it up with, like, not attacking him, but basically calling him out, like, why would he be using his platform to, kind of go against, like, what they're trying to represent, and that, nobody should be talking about her husband, and this and that. And people were commenting on that, like, it's a free country, like, why can't we talk about your husband? Like, it's not like he said anything bad. Derek Jackson, it wasn't like he, was blatantly offensive or disrespectful. He gave a very, like, well-poised response. It was very, like, respectful, nothing out of line or anything. So people were like, really? You go tell him, like, he can't do this and that, but yet you're on your own platform giving your opinion about him.
Yeah,
but he can't do the same. So it's been a lot of back and forth, and, the whole, like, the whole clip has become a thing in itself. Like, it's become bigger than what it was supposed to be. And that's just social media for you. I mean, it really is. It's, once things are put out there, it can either be taken as and be beloved and be and be and be taken in open arms and so warm, and this is so beautiful and we love it and it was funny, or it could be taken as like this horrid, like absolutely just despicable,
disgusting, just
unattractive, just distasteful thing, and you just never know. You never know what side of the coin it's going to be on. I mean, Pastor John Gray went on that show and he shared, a lot about himself, and he was honest and open like he always is. And unfortunately, this time around, he's getting a lot of attention, but it's not going the way he probably envisioned. So
that's the interesting thing. So if he felt comfortable enough to say that out loud, it's because he genuinely felt that way, I think. It doesn't mean that he was just saying it just to say it. So, I think he's ready for the consequence of, if you will, of losing followers and stuff like that, you know.
Yeah.
Or even gaining.
And members actually go to his church.
Yeah.
Some members.
I think he may gain more respect from people too because of what he said, because it was a moment of just cherishing his wife. That's how I looked at it. So now I'm a fan. You know, I don't know. This is gonna be interesting.
Yeah. Yeah. So this pretty much wraps up episode 11. This is your girl, Lady Sola. You can make sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, at Lady Sola Life. You can also like my page on Facebook if you go to www.facebook.com/Lady Sola Life. That is LadySolalife. And Miss Nafeesah Hope, where can people find you? And to be able to keep up with you and see your work.
Yeah, listen up. Nafeesah Hope. N as in Nancy, A F as in Frank, EES as in Sam, AH Hope. Nafeesah Hope on all outlets. So all social media outlets.
You can
Twitter,
find her.
Facebook, Instagram. It's just Nafeesah Hope. Just me, same old me.
Yes, this is a celebrity MUA. So if you're looking to book her, if you want to book her for any photo shoots, any, special occasions, birthdays, engagements, gender reveals, you name it. She is local in Connecticut. She's amazing. I mean, she does fabulous work for ESPN for so many different celebrities and projects.
Yeah, I've done Kobe Bryant, Mike Epps, Rosie Perez, Ice Cube, Kenny Chesney, Larry King, Mark Cuban, Danica Patrick, Skip Bayless. I was a personal makeup artist for Stephen A. Smith, Spike Lee, Shannon Sharp, Michael Eric Dyson, Kevin Hart, Rachel Lindsay from The Bachelorette, Regis Philbin. The list goes on and on. 10 plus years, actually 21 plus years of makeup in the industry. I can say that I am a celebrity makeup artist, and I love doing what I do.
That is so amazing. Like, all the celebrities you just listed, like, I'm such big fans of so many of them. So this concludes episode 11 of the Listen Up podcast. Thank you so much for tuning in. Like I said, I'm going to just try to keep this going. This is on all platforms that you can listen to podcasts on. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts or the iTunes, definitely please leave a review, give a 5-star rating. You can find it, just search it in the iTunes store. I really appreciate it. Happy holidays, you guys. Make sure you're safe during the holiday season, and
listen up.
You already know, listen up at all times. It does you good, okay?
Yeah.
But until next time, thank you so much for joining us, and we'll talk to you soon.
Be well.
Thanks for checking out this episode of the Listen Up podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. If you're really rocking with it, leave a rating or review on the Apple Podcast app. The support is always appreciated.